Hello, good evening, depending on where you are in the world today. So, I've been working on this platform MMO project for the last few days. I've streamed twice, literally going from scratch, and I will be continuing on with this project tonight as well for about another an hour and 45 minutes. And just to kind of like show where I am with this so far, is I have a WebSocket server set up in Node.js, and I have my client project over here. So if I run that, just kind of like go over what I've done off stream. So I've been playing around with UI, flexing my UI abilities a little bit. So it's been a few years since I've been playing with Godot, so I've had to remind myself to do all of this. So I've got a chat box set up here, and you can see we got some text coming in here. And this is just me just trying to like get the style right and kind of like see how it looks. This is coming from the server as well, so the server like is outputting the logs here. And then on the right is the toolbar icons, but they don't do anything right now. In terms of the zoom as well, I think I zoomed in a little bit, and what you see here is I've been playing around with slopes, and I'll be honest, I'm not sure they're my cup of tea right now. Like they work, but I ideally want to draw over them so we have grass kind of coming off, and it's a pain when I start doing slopes. So on the last one, I did have my grassy slopes here. Not grassy slopes. Well, I tried with grassy slopes actually, but the collisions on there were a nightmare because like your feet are kind of like on this line, and then you're gonna match it up with this layer here, and then if you want to continue, you've got this bit of an awkward cut off there. Otherwise, everything goes to well, everything goes pear-shaped. As you can see, it's also off here if we continue. So I kind of just forsaken the grass and went for straight lines, and that's what we got in here. But yeah, I am sad that there isn't the grass on there, so I'd have to either draw over it or with another solution, or just get rid of slopes altogether. And I also added like a little animation on the player, just like showing idling. I don't know why I put effort into doing that, because even though I really want to have like a humanoid player, let's say, I'm gonna have to do animations for everything, and I want gear to be visible on the player as well. So if you have like a copper helmet on the player, then that needs to be like on his head. Say for like a copper plate body or boots or something like that. And every animation I do, I'm going to have to do an animation for every item. So I want to do it, but I don't have the manpower to do that. So it's something I'm going to rethink once I've got this a bit more fleshed out. And my plan for tonight is not so much working on the client, but the server side. So I did a little bit of a refactor with what I had. I literally just moved the player into a models folder. But what's missing at the moment is any kind of like persistency. So if the player disconnects or reconnects, they just start from scratch. They get a new ID assigned to them. So maybe I will work on the client side a little bit actually, because I want to give the player a name at least. So we'll log in as Bob, and the server will register you as Bob, give you an ID, and store you within memory, so I'm going to be pulling in Redis for that. Then when you log out or close the client and come back and log in as Bob, you should have like all the same data that you had from before. Or if I close the server and restart the server, anything that was in place, for example, is brought back to where it was when we closed the server down. And in order to do that, I'm going to need a Redis connection. I've got Redis running on my machine currently, and Redis is just like an in-memory database where you just like pop data in, basically. And if I take the server down, it will store what's in memory into a file, and then when the server fires up again, it will restore its state from the file. But otherwise, it's always in memory. And then later on, there'll be another layer for long-term persistency where we hook up a database. That's not on the agenda right now. It's just getting the in-memory database set up first. So I'm gonna go. Let's start with the client then. So what I'm gonna need to do is a new scene. And this one's going to be just a user interface, and this is going to be our login screen. And just save that so we've got a place to put it with the scenes. I'll pull it over so we've got a bit more space in here. Oh yeah, all these icons here. I just found a library of icons and dumped them in. Okay, a margin container will center whatever's in it, so well, that's a fill. If I add another one, I'll just go with the panel. Oh no, it's not. It's filled it rather. Center container, that's what I wanted. Put you back up here. Put the panel in there. I'm going to have to set the minimums. We'll go for something a bit wider. 250. And see how that looks. Yeah, it's okay. We need a input container. Well, what is it called? Is it a line edit? Let me see what we can do for input then. Text edit. That might be it. Oh no, it's multi-line. I want a single line. Provide an input field for editing a single line of text, that's it. A line edit field. And let's put another margin container in here. That underneath. Set that to fill. And we'll go with a VBox now. I'm going to want a label in there as well. Or can I do a label on the input field? No, don't think I can. But label will be up here. We'll call that my name. Let me just set the margins on here as well. Theme overrides. Set these. That should be okay. Our box is a bit big as well, so let's go and correct that. 200 by 300. 150 rather. So say enter name as the placeholder. And then I'm going to need a button to log in with. So log in. I wouldn't mind if I put this at the bottom. don't think I'll be able to do it in the VBox container. But that just did exactly what I wanted, so that is great. Oh, I need to change the start scene to the login screen too. Or if I just run it in this one. Yeah. Okay, we'll put a control on here. Let's create a new folder for the login screen. Login screen. New script. Login screen. Roller. So what happens at the moment is, because I've got a global client manager instantiated, as soon as I run the game, this is handling the WebSocket. So even if I run from the login scene, I've technically connected to the server. So I'm going to need to correct that too, to not fire off right away. So on ready, we don't want to do this. In fact, don't need ready at all. Say connect. Take that back. We'll change the function to connect to server. Don't need the test packet. Take that out. So we connect to the WebSocket URL. Should also note I've got the sniffles tonight, so if I just mute myself for a moment to hack and sniffle, then I apologise. So connected to WebSocket URL, wait for the socket to connect. I think we can also do something better than that as well. That's a timeout. That's not really a timeout though, is it? If okay, wait for the socket to connect. Haven't you already connected? Or is there a different signal? Get to URL. What signals do you fire? Is there anything about returning an error? There we go. Are these errors related to the WebSocket though? Yeah, these are global. Not really applicable to give us further information about the error. So in other words, if we've got an OK, connect. Usually that should happen first anyway. So we connect in and we say connected here. But this isn't. This will be asynchronous, right? Hence why they put the timeout here in the example. And then what have we got in process? Just it just starts automatically, doesn't it? So I'm going to put the ready back in just for the sake of testing. And I'm going to disable processing and forward connect to server. Now we should see that, and I assume this is just going to happen like instantly. It's just going to go bomb bomb. But let's see. Do logs have times on them? I want to see errors. Where's my log? Output. How to get like micro time in Godot? What's that? Micro time, get time. What's this? There we go. Get takes you at least seconds, I think will do. Since the engine started. That'll do. It's not global, I'm not gonna have to go through time. And then do the same again there. 357, yeah. I doubt it's actually connected at this point. Which I guess makes sense for the timeout, but it's just... It's such a fake like way of handling it. Let's have a look at the docs on this. So we can look if state WebSocket periods are open, but we need to pull to get that information. And I can print out the state as well. WebSocket.period state, get ready state. Let's try that. So my socket's here. Print out the get ready state. I think there's a state for connecting, so we should see connecting here. I'm going to run it here as well, and I assume it should still say connecting. Do I need to poll first, actually? Let's go back to that. Might have to. I'm going to run it without it for now. So we've got 0, 0. What does 0 mean though? Where's that dot gone? So state connecting. Which is what I expected there. But if I do it in poll here. Yeah, well, it didn't change anything, so the socket server is still connecting. So I could do a loop around this. You just basically wait for it to become ready. But I've forgotten how to do. I mean, it's literally right there, and so it's not like I'm forgetting anything. So, socket.poll. Well, socket.get ready state rules. Where's the state? It's here. State open. Stay connecting. And poll and do and wait. just wait for a second. So while connecting, Paul, do this. Oh yeah, take you out. I've got 0 and 1. Well, I'm down here anyway. Oh yeah, connected. And then we can change the set process over here to true. And what were the other ready states? Or connection states? Where is it? Connecting, open, closing, and closed. So if anything isn't open, then this would be a failure. Ready state equals second period dot state open. Error. I just quit for now. I think to get 3 dot quit. Oh, crude error checking. Just we failed to open the socket. Just quit. There's room for a better error message later. So we now are connected. We're processing the payload is coming as well. And I don't want to connect to server on Connect anymore. Now that takes us back to the login screen. Let's fire off a login handler. Let's do it via the button listener. To pressed. Let's try and install the login button. There we go, and connect. So print to login. Yep, only hitting that once. So then we can go into the client manager and say connect to server. And when we are connected, it'll need to change to the test scene. I got the scene in here now. Set process to true. Let's change the scene first. So get true. Or is there a change scene to file? Oh, I'm going into the test scene. Let's double check. Server. Nope. Bob. Login. And then we get taken to the game world. So next, I'm going to have to send a packet for the player name. Wonder if I can do that when I open the socket, or I'll have to do it straight after. It's kind of like create player or something. Let's see, connect to URL. So I'm going to have to do it by sending a new packet to the server. So once we are connected, tell you what, let's... I was thinking about letting the player send the packet on ready, but I don't want the player being responsible for that. Let's make a new function called initialize player. Oh, I already have registered player. That's for when a third, a non-client, a non-player. That doesn't make sense. When a player not yourself joins. I'll have to rename that later to avoid confusion. But initialize player, and this is going to have to send a payload to the server. And the event will be, it's different syntax in GT script. So event be init player. Pass in a name, which will come from, I'll just say player name up here. I'll store it in here for now. So file player name. And we haven't set player name yet, so that'll be empty. Initialize player. Flight manager dot player name equals the value from the line edit. So player name input. Get rid of that. Add in. Oh, let's create a variable for that. Value or text. So we set the player name. Then we connect to server. Connect to server, and then we initialize player once the socket is connected successfully. And I think I'll log this on the server if I send that event. So let's see. I'm gonna have to change the start screen. Where do I set the start screen in this? Here we go. Oh gosh, what was that? Yep, so here's Bob. Log in. Player has joined. Looks like I'm not logging out that payload then. So in server, when we connect, on message, JSON parse, if player position. That's probably why I'm not logging it out, because the player position is set like every time it changes. Else, console about one. It's on. Restart that. It's a bib. Okay, got it. Didn't expect this to be yellow though, with it being a warning. But no matter. So that came through. Nothing's handling now. So if JSON event equals what did I call it? Init player? Init player. So player.name equals JSON dot what's value name. So that will set the player's name. At this point, we'll also want to player.load. This isn't implemented yet, but this will be what we use to restore the player's values. So for now, so we don't get an error when running it, just a dummy function until we implement that. So we get a player ID sent back, player has joined, there's your reference. We don't really need to tell the player what their name is though, after they've logged in, they already know it. And I think I am done on the client for now. Wait, my name? We've got that. I mean, I could change the messages in here to be the player name. So it's got some dynamic content in there. This is my faking the chat box simulation here. So like, there's a timeout, just like gradually sending in each message over. When is on join fired? On here. I'm gonna delay this until we've loaded the player, and then we do an on join. If I was being technically correct here, I could have a separate event for unconnected up here where on join used to be. Then on join is literally just the players just joined the room. So there's on join, that's just a chat box simulation. Let's replace Bob with this .name. Just realised I don't have name defined. And so we have a placeholder if they have no name. Better for our debugging if we know that it's not been set. It's unknown. Did I set the player name? I did. So let's swap out any mention of Bob with name. Hey Bob. Any more Bobs? Yeah, the simulated players earn messages as well. Let's run that. Let's see it working. So if I call myself Dave. Welcome Dave, we hope you enjoy your time playing platformer MMO. Hey Dave. And then we should see a message from Dave. There we go. Dave is alive. Now this will be the next part where we start looking into adding Redis. So I don't think I've imported the package for this yet. So node Redis, Node.js Redis client. So let's go ahead and add that in. I fudged it up by doing Control V. And then let's create a services folder. We'll put our Redis service in here. What we're going to need to get this set up. So basic client, we're going to need that. Let's do a function for connect. That's gonna have to be async. Not there. Let's tap those in. So I don't want to do a set here or a destroy, so connect. Let's return the client. No, actually, let's create a... Should I class it? Thing is with JavaScript, they have class syntax, but there's usually never a case for them. Even though I've done one for the player. I think for a service handler, it's always going to be global. So I'll do it as a var up here. We'll say this is the client. So client be set on here, so connect. And then I can handle that in separate functions if I need to add any more events. Let's do a disconnect. Close. The client.close. Sorry, destroy. Oh, where am I passing my credentials for this? Here, URL. I don't even know what my username and password is. I have a Redis UI somewhere. Don't think I opened it. Where is it? This one. Just got it set up with the default values. So I've got no password. Literally just that, no username either. And what port? 6379. I'll keep that. Hopefully that is enough. Change that. 6379. Or if it asks me for a user, it might be ACL. I don't know what Redis version I'm using. Let's connect and find out. 724. Okay, well I'll run it, see what happens, and if I get an error I'm going to have to provide a username of ACL. Let's go ahead and put this in. And we'll connect to Redis before we do this, the WebSocket. I'm also going to need to import that. But Redis from services Redis. And export it to Redis.connect. Why did that not work? Why is it not picking it up? Is it because I haven't pulled them this way? I don't really like that way of doing it though. The two Redis.connect. Right, I can't change it then to export default. Passing connect. Close. There, that's connected, I think. Yeah, it's all connected too. It connected. Perhaps should do a success message for connecting. Is there a wait, I'm doing No, oh, I am doing an await, so I can say console.log Redis. Let's do one for the WebSocket too. Initialized or running, rather. Ah, okay. WebSocket is firing after connect. Let's do a wait. Just so we get them running synchronously. We don't want to start a WebSocket server if we can't connect to our Redis database. So now that we've got those set up, let's have a look at storing player data. So my experience with Redis is I usually work with it in a very abstracted way. So I never have to call hset or even know what these commands do, to be honest. It's just store this data and the data gets stored. So I'm just gonna have to read these up a moment. I just want to store JSON really, that would be the easiest way to do this. Let's have a look at the commands. Oh, there's a few here. Right, hset, is that just setting a key and a value? Key, field, value. But does it support JSON as well? Not that I need to, because I can handle the JSON myself, but I figured if Redis can do it, it'll be more optimal for me to do that. JSON.get. Let's just have a play around then, get a feel for it. I'll do it in Connect whilst I'm figuring it out. So console wait client dot. Sure, I'm not getting any typing in for this. So I'll just assume that hset will work and we'll set the key, player, and the field and value. Decision. And JSON dot stringify, say x 1 2 3 and y 1 5 6. Didn't get an error. There it is. So player position has been stored and there's our value. Let's try the opposite. Wait client get all key. What's the key? Is it player? So say if I want to get everything for the player, let's just put this into a variable to log it out. Null prototype. What if I do player.position? Yeah, it's grabbed that, so it's returned a JSON object. Oh, what's the difference between raw Redis commands and friendly JavaScript commands? What's the casing? Well, I'd rather go with that one anyway. I'm just wondering if I can get a... Oh, hold on. Client set key value. What I've done over here is key field value. What if I guess this is hget and then do decision with the second parameter? Yeah, same thing. So I can use it the same way. Okay, so let's go ahead and wrap a few things for this function. Store. I'm having a midlife crisis trying to name a variable function here. Store data. And then get data. I might come up with better names later. So I'm going to do key and value. And same over here for key value. Now for properties, I'd rather just do it like in one, well, like a state. State has like the common data in there. Let's change it to store the value, get the value. Move that to here. Use that to be async. One thing I want to try as well is if I pass in an object here, will it JSON stringify automatically? We'll do a wait on here too. Let's say hget. That's a store value and get value. Store value and get value. So let's run the models folder down a bit to Redis. Talk about save. And this is going to save the player state and then load. We'll load the player state. Let's go load and save state then. Load state. So Redis dot, what did I call it? Store value. And this will be player, and then the ID is going to be the suffix for their key. This dot ID. Actually, no, it won't, because that's going to change. It's going to be name. Well, it's not going to change, but we need to get the we need another way to store the ID then. I think ID is a lot better, but this is something the authorization server is going to have to handle. So when a player connects, they provide their name, password, and then we get a response by saying success. Here's your player ID. And then the WebSocket server loads the data for that player ID. Just without that, I have no way of getting the ID again because we're just going to generate it. So I'll just go with name for now. It's just going to be a future refactor job. So store value, player name, and I'm going to store this position. Will it let me get away without this? Let me just test this. Oh no, this is load state. Fail. It's going to be save state. Then save state. We'll do it on join. Well, let's not. Let's create a loop. So we've done a loop already on every tick. On every tick, we're going to have to save the player state. And it'll be done at the very end. So current player dot save state. Now save state, got position in there. Just delete that. Fire it up. Let's go ahead and connect. Right, position not defined. I thought that would be the issue. I was just hoping to get away with it, was all, because this is a lot easier to do than having to repeat it with this dot position. Let's rerun that. Join with Bob. What's our next error? The object instead. So this is another issue that I was hoping would be handled automatically. Just need to make sure everything is converted to JSON. So we'll stringify the value before set. And I'm not sure if I need to do it on this end. Well, let's just JSON.parse it anyway. Rerun. Nope. Join Bob. Alright, next error. Was this the same error actually? I didn't fix anything, did I? What's the issue then? Got undefined instead. Is it? Oh, it's on right. Interesting. Why is client undefined? Is it undefined? No, it's there. We've got it. Is it because I haven't done the property? Yeah, that was it. It's because I didn't define a property. So just delete unknown, player Bob. It's good we got the state in there, but it's kind of hoping to do it all in one go. Because this is the state, so position should be its own key. What other variables do we have? Oh great, website's down. Right, but I still have it in another tab. I'm gonna have a lot of reading material to do. But he's set. Yeah, that's hanging as well. Let's just refresh on here. Or am I down? What? Google's fine. Does everyone get DDoSed or something? Is AWS down? Is it down? Yeah, DuckDuckGo isn't working for me. But Google is. Let's just check if the internet's down. GitHub. Are you really expecting me to put in the protocol as well? Okay, yeah. Right, is it just me? Because this is pretty annoying. I wonder if it's my internet. I'm just checking my phone. See, when I'm on Wi-Fi, it's stuck on connecting. When I disconnect, it's fine. Let's go to GitHub though. Can I get to GitHub on my phone? I can. So what's going on with my Wi-Fi? I mean, the thing is, it still says I'm streaming. Do I dare refresh that? Well, I did, and it's fine. Right, whatever. I'm gonna leave this problem for later then. So, store value and get value just gets everything. Let's stay. And I'll put a second property here, and then each get key and property. Whoa! It's on my to-do list to get a new keyboard. First, because of that reoccurring ladder issue, and secondly, because it's a bloody noisy keyboard. Pretty sure that you can hear the clacking in the background when I talk, because the noise cancelling won't be able to like filter it out. Right, broadcast server. Oh, there's a bit of a gotcha here as well. So the save state can trigger before the player has been initialized, or has had a chance to fire the onJoin event. I only want to fire this when the player has joined. Let's not push them there. Is that going to cause an issue though? So if I do it here, where was it before? Sec. Just right after create new player. Just gonna have to check what I'm doing in here. So onJoin broadcast to all. So as long as the player is added after onJoin is called. Sorry, before onJoin is called. So do it there. Let's do it after load state and then fire off the onJoin event. Because until I handle this to do here, it's going to break my to do. It's just going to say to Bob that Bob has just joined. So let's see what I'm getting in Redis now. Let's delete that. Close, fire up. Okay, there's Bob. Bob has joined. Got a key for Bob, and we've got a state, and there's the position for Bob. And I'm going to have to create a helper as well to hook up the state, because it's going to have to send over the socket to any player. First, when the player joins, so they have the information on where they are. Second, for other players to know where that player is too. So, say get state. And let's return a JSON object, so we can simplify that to just return a object right away. And I'm going to wrap all this up here. So we'll be sending the ID. Not the WebSocket, but connected. I don't think it's relevant. Name, this dot name. Position. And then in save state, we'll pass in that state, so we're storing it. And on load state, redis.getValue, and copy this. And in there, we'll say set state. Be a bit easier, so we'll just take the object keys from state do a loop over it. Take key, we'll say this key equals state key. So that will allow us to pull in the values. And this is the wrong way around. Do I need to pass in the property? Key property, store value. I hard coded it. That was a mistake. Property goes over here. Then on player store value, display name, I'm going to call this state. And then we're saving the state in there. Get value, we want to get the state on this end. Create a reference to that and set state. Let me clear down that key. Let's see if that still builds. Player has joined. We got an error. Unexpected token. It's not valid JSON. Okay, why is that not valid JSON then? Get value, store value, property. Let's see what I'm trying to like pass in here. And all of the script. Did my log not print? Is error filtered out? So it's not in my... Oh, it's get value. It's on the player, so when I load the player, I'm loading the state. But that key doesn't exist yet. So it's actually erroring here. So I'm gonna have to check if I've even got a response. To confirm we're hitting that. Null. So if it's null, we don't want to bother. I'm going to say if response. Otherwise return null. Right, players joined. My state hasn't been saved though. And also, why am I not getting the chat output? So did load state, save state. And then on join is fired. So loading the state. And save state is also called on each tick. So what's going on there? The join log didn't fire. So why is it failing? Zero. So it's failing on load state. Ah, this is why you do not leave your cache blocks empty. Because that error is being silenced. Set state is not defined. It's there, so it should be this dot set state. Likewise, should that be this dot get state? Okay. I was thinking like, why didn't this error? But I think it was going to error anyway. Just we happened to error before it, so it never got that far. Right, Bob. Login is Bob. Where's my Redis client gone? Did I close it again? If I delete Bob, Bob should come back right away. There we go. What's that do? Oh, copy. Edit line, delete, paste command. So ID's in their name and position. If I move over this way, and don't need Steam, go away. And refresh that. I've forgotten what the old value is, but it's the X value, so I expect it to change. 1147. Do that again. Ah, why are so many Steam windows? Yeah, that's been updated. So next thing to do is when I disconnect and Bob rejoins the game, this state needs to be passed down to the client and create Bob in that position. Let me fix that typo. And so when we join, broadcast all player joined, this ID, this will be this.get state. And let's use that. So we get the state that's going to send ID, name, and position. Now it would be good to send this to the player too, but they aren't sent it at this point. Though I can copy it and on set state we broadcast to the player. So broadcast to this player state and send over the player state. And on the receiving end, where's my event handler? Down here. So if JSON.get run, what did I name it? Play state. I want to maintain a reference to this player as well, so let's make this global. Call it current player. The current player, not play. So we've got a player state, and current player got... Oh, am I gonna have to parse it again? I might be sending a JSON. No, I don't think I am actually. Yeah, I've decoded the entire thing and then I'm encoding it again. So current player. Let's print what we get anyway. Print JSON. Restart the server. Join as Bob. So here's our player state, ID, name, and position. So if I do JSON, yeah. Message. Is there a cleaner way to go to message.position though? And I could say message is just look at message. Say print message position. Let's see if I get an error for this. Oh, I got an error for my refactor. Literally agile current player. Why has it got an issue with that? What have I broken? Agile on a null value. But why now? What have I broken? It's just a player. Let's start fresh. Okay, there's a separate error then. So if I rejoin, it might be sending the players list back over. Yeah. Right, well, I'm gonna leave that and just restart it when I join. So client join, player position. Yeah, so I want to test and get the position back. It did an error and I've got X and Y. And we are indeed sending X and Y over. So message position. I can literally copy this. Say message dot position dot X. And dot Y. And next I'm going to have to fix this bug with the client booting up twice. But nil. Interesting, current player is nil. So if... then I'm gonna have to wait for the next tick. Because it's probably firing this. Before this, maybe? Or after? Let's have a look. Load state. Player has joined. Hold on, I'm just trying to make sense of this now. This is for the remote player joining. Broadcast to all player joined. The player shouldn't have received this. Right, it's I got it wrong earlier then. Push needs to happen after on join. Right, Bob's joined. Flow's open again. Right, that error's gone. No, just the issue with getting the position back. So if current player... Ah, no, this is wrong. This is other player. That should not be global. You have to change this back to var new player. Or remote new player. And then current player is going to be used because we're going to set that on when the player is created. Where's your script? Else. Manage the current player equals itself over here in it. Then within the client manager, if we've got a current player, we can then set that position. Come on, Bob. Spawn in the right place. Still nope. Current player. And sounds like my music is just buggered up. Game back then. Let's replay that. That's what I'm using for my stream. Why is it down? What is wrong with my internet? This is really annoying me. Okay, well, I'm going to leave it without music then. I do apologize. Unless I try... yeah, anything I do with the internet now is going to cut the stream. Yeah, I'm just going to have to leave it. We've only got about 20 minutes left until I cut it off anyway. Right, print current player message position. Let's see what we've got when we boot in. So the player is null. Why is the player null? Initialize player, what's this doing? Init player. I wonder if the player state is coming back before the scene's been initialized. So I don't have a player. Let's see if I do. So print player live. Yeah, that's it. init player should be player, like send a join request to the server. And then what we're getting is technically a pong back saying you've joined, here's your metadata. Though, whilst I do need to set the player state when they're created, I also need to do this for every player. So I'm going to have to look in. Am I storing the players in the dictionary with the ID? Yes, I am. But is the current player registered in there? What else is going on with this? Registered player and the other player. Great. So the player is added to the players array. So if we've got a player state, let's go through for bar player in players. Have I got the syntax right for that? Let's pass. After four, no. Four player in players. There we go. Just overcomplicating that. So if player, or no, we don't need to do that. If players get, then it's this is the ID. Let's put that into a var. So player equal player get message ID. And then if we have a player, we'll sync that player's position with what we've got here. And then over on the server where we're setting the position, technically have no reason for this one anymore. But it does mean sending a bigger payload over. So maybe I'll do that sparingly. So players JSON get. Wait, this is a bit of a format as well. I'm gonna have to create a function for this. So I want all my payloads being in the same format. So every payload will have an event and the message body. Although for ID, I suppose it makes sense to keep it on the top level because that's your recipient. So I'll keep that there. I'm going to have to change it on the player's state payload as well. So ID is not ID. Let's review that. So we've got player state, we've got message ID. That can now be JSON.get. And then we set that player's position. So now to apply this to the player on create. I could delay creating the player in the scene, but then I still need to wait for the scene to load. So really changing the scene here would be wrong anyway. Initialize player, init player, player name. Yeah, so we're requesting the server to approve us, to let us in, and then we get that state back. I need a new event for this then. Well, it's doing a similar thing. This is just a join event. I think I might do a cheap little fix on this. So initialize player. What if I don't initialize player here? And just do it over here when the player is initialized. I'm not allowed to go to the client manager. We should see a fling though, if we do manage to get this position to update. So we've got 0, at the moment. Disconnected. Let's check Bob. Got X and Y in there. Let's rejoin. And I don't have that position sending over correctly. Well, wouldn't I be sent to 0 then? Let's just double check this. Player state. Got player state for player. And then there's your message. So I've got player state, null, there's your payload. So I've still got two issues then. I don't have a player coming back. When I registered the player, why is that happening? Alright, I do have a player joined event. What was I doing over here then? Player. No, that's from the remote player joining. Let's print players. Right, empty dictionary. So register player. And then I'm manually adding the player when they're joining. So initialize player. Send JSON there. Where's the player output? To it again. No, it doesn't look like they are added. Which makes sense because we don't know the player ID at this point. Okay, let's see what event I'm firing back first for the player. So, play connects. Got a reference here. I'm going to send that player back another payload. And this one is going to be accepted. And then our message. Here's your ID. Player.get ID. Yeah, player.id. So another handler being accepted. So I want to say players ID. I still have an issue actually. Do I? Current player. And then let's just print that out so you can see it says current players. Players. Right, an error over here. ID is undefined. And that's because I need to use this ID. Players joined, got an ID. Players, current players null, null. Because we get in the message to the ID. Let's redo that. Right, we got player an ID in there, but it's still null. And this takes us back to the race condition, where the servers have responded before the player's been created. What if this is a bit of a hacky solution, but if I do current ID, current player ID, and where's my accepted event? Equals this ID here. I'll take this off. And then when the player joins, initialize player is called, and then player will also set that. We'll say layer and player. JSON's not defining anything. Oh yeah, we've got the current player ID now. I get the casing right. Yep. Then on initialize player says short cell. I no longer need this. Moment of truth. Am I going to go to 0, 0? Yes, I am. It's wrong, but it's progress. So now, why are we sending 0, 0? And then we can wrap this up for tonight. This will be where we're loading the state. There's something going wrong there. So player, load state, set state, and then broadcast, get state. Y state. Oh, error. Print. This is why you don't mix your languages. Keep using Godot syntax, GD script syntax in JavaScript, and then JavaScript in Godot. Now I'm typing Godot instead of Bob. So 0, 0. But if I look in Redis, I've got player Bob, and his position is that. Oh. Oh. I mean, we're still not going to 0, 0, but at least 0 is explained, because we're going, if I join, because I'm getting taken to 0, 0, I'm over here, and then that's saving my position on the server, and then it's going back. Well, it would be going back if I was actually getting a value for it. So why use 0? So get state, my state, position. We lost set and state as well. And that's so set state is wrong. So debug set state this position. I think I have an idea actually. This position's a property within an object. So yeah, state is empty here as well. But if I don't need you anymore, if I just debug state and close. Oh, it's a promise. Oh, it's a promise. Of course. Get value. Save state. Load state. So Redis, we need to wait and async it. Okay, hopefully that puts everything right. Okay, I'm over here now. I think that's right, but I also think it's another issue. Yeah, I have a feeling I'm sending the position over to the server, and the server's giving me the new state after it's been saved with the initial one the player has. Let me just double check what we've got over here. So we do have the updated position. So I've initialized the player now, init player. But your position is 0, 0. So when a player joins, they go through What am I firing? Send JSON is like sent almost immediately. So player dot initialized. If initialized, then we send our position over. Oh, I want a bit pear-shaped as well. Initialize player. Hit player. Once we get the player state back, we can then say player dot initialized is true. Log in as Bob. Let's wander over onto this hill. Log out. Is it gonna work? No. Darn. Right, let's make a note. I've got 579 when I join. And when I leave, 579 still. Uh, so am I even sending the position back? Minute. Nope. Ah, I've still got a bug here. Okay, well I'm gonna wrap it up here anyway. What I've noticed as I've been going through this is now my events are getting a bit tangly. So I'm gonna go offline. I'm gonna think about this and clean things up. Because it's very quickly getting out of control. Uh, and I thought I just wouldn't have to tackle this issue yet as well. So I'll end things here and I'll probably make a bit more progress before our next stream anyway. So I shall catch you guys in the next stream. So have a good evening, morning,